Hi, welcome back to more 4.2 videos. The last one we looked at vertex form. Now we're going to look at intercept form. Hopefully these videos are all pretty short, but hopefully they are really helpful to break it up like this. Okay? If you have intercept form, your equation is going to look like this. Okay? If you notice, you'll still have an A out in front. Now we've got X's, but P's and Q's, so we'll have to see what those are. I want to point out some things. This might go on your study card because it's a good hint that if A is greater than 0, we're still opening up. If A is less than 0, we're opening down. That's no different. Now, to find the axis of symmetry, we don't just look for a particular number. We don't do negative b over 2a, but we add up our p and our q and divide them by 2. Notice this has a negative in it. So once again, P and Q are both going to be opposite of what's written down. Okay? So we get P plus Q and we divide it by 2. That's your axis of symmetry. This time, when you go to find your vertex, take whatever your axis of symmetry is, plug it in. We did that before with standard form. And then we've got this extra thing about X intercepts are P and Q. So we get 2 more points just from that. So we won't ever have to pick numbers for this. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's look at our steps. The steps are kind of the same pattern we've had all along. We decide up or down, and we can also think about skinnier or fatter. We can find the axis of symmetry, and remember that's the P plus Q divided by 2, and we're going to put in a dotted line. Then we are going to figure out our vertex, and to do that we plug that number in, find y, graph that point, and then we get to graph X intercepts. And I kind of like this one because I think it's easier than almost anything else we've done. So let's go ahead and let's look at our first example. Notice this is that intercept form. Okay? If we look at the number in front, we have to find our A. A is negative 2, so up or down. Oh, yay, you all know. Maybe the people in your family know from hearing this so much. It's up and down. Then we have to figure out our axis of symmetry. So to do that, remember the formula for axis of symmetry this time is P plus Q divided by 2. Well, we've got P and Q, but remember, take the opposite. So it's negative 3 plus negative 1 divided by 2. Well, that's negative 4 divided by 2. Oh, it's negative 2. Okay? So once again, we can go over to our graph and draw it out. And we will do a couple units each way. And we know we should put a dotted line at negative 2. Okay? Now, the next thing that we almost always look for is our vertex. And this time we're going to plug in to our equation. So we write down y equals negative 2. We've got x plus 3. We've got x plus 1. Let's put the negative 2 in. We've got negative 2 plus 3, negative 2 plus 1. Now, do what's in the parentheses first. So negative 2 plus 3 is 1. Negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. And so now we can multiply, and we get negative 2 times 1 times negative 1, which gives us a positive 2. So now we know our vertex is negative 2, 2. So let's come on over. Negative 2. Oh, spelling this is wrong. Negative 2, 2. Now, normally we had to pick a point or find a y-intercept. This is so cool. We just do our x-intercepts, and let's see. P is negative 3. Q was negative 1. So we just need to graph the point negative 3, 0 and negative 1, 0. And we've got it. So let's come on over here. Negative 3, 0 is here. Negative 1, 0 is here. And now we got it. How easy was that? Okay, not too bad anyway. All right, let's go on and let's try one more example just to make sure we kind of got this down. Okay, once again, we have to decide if it opens up or down. Well, A is negative 1 Oh, you know what? Just to mess with you all, I'm going to change it. Check that out. Woohoo! All right, so A is 1. What does that mean? Oh, that means it's going to open up, Mrs. Roth. Yes, I wanted that other option. All right, so the next thing we need to do is do the axis. Okay, now, this is going to challenge you a little bit because look at these numbers and figure out what are we going to actually use. This one should become -1, and this one should be, good, +5. I'm going to assume you said that. Let's just go with it. So once again, always take the opposite of both, unlike before where you only did the opposite for h. So -1 + 5 over 2, well, let's see, that's 4 over 2, that's just 2. And remember, once you find the axis of symmetry, that's when you can put in your dotted line at 2. And I do like the dotted to help you tell what's going on. Okay, now we need to figure out the vertex. So we're going to take this number 2, we're going to put it in, and we've got 2 + 1 times 2 minus 5, and that's going to equal our y. What is 2 + 1? 3. 2 minus 5 is -3. Ooh, and when we multiply them, we get -9. So our, oh, this is going to be, okay. So you get 2, -9. Okay? So we need to go to 2, -9 and make our vertex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Keep it going. 2, -9. Here's your vertex. Okay? And the next thing you're going to do is your X intercepts. And remember, that's just your P and Q. So we've got -1, 0, the opposite of what's there, and opposite of what's there, 5, 0. So now we get to graph those points, and we get -1, 0, and then we get 5, 0, 5. I kind of missed the dot, but okay. So, and we've got it. All right. I think that's probably good, and we'll be practicing on this really soon. Bye.